So I know that we talk about RV life being less expensive than sticks and bricks life, and you know, I think that all depends on where you live and you know how big your home is, property taxes, and how big your rig is, and how far how far and how often you travel. But I will say this: even though we now have our sticks and bricks, the truck just hit 97,000 miles, and so we needed to do some work. And this is the work that we did on the truck. We replaced all the fluids, transmission, gear cases, blah, 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 coolant, all those kinds of things. But we did notice a couple of weeks ago that our starter was making a bad sound, and it was kind of, I think, damaging the flywheel. So we bit the bullet on that one just to get more life out of the truck, put some rear brakes on it. $5,100 later, we're all set to go, and the truck does feel a lot better, so that's good. However, that's not the purpose of today's video. Today's video is we're going to pick up the Airstream. This is the list of warranty issues that we've had on the rig, and nothing super major, except one major thing that I did, and I'll detail that for you. But it was just a lot of little things, but it's been there for 2.5 months. The good news is that we've used that couple months to do this townhome thing. So we're going to pick it up, so we'll take you with us. And my concern is that, as we've all experienced this when we go pick up at a dealership, not everything gets done. They've assured me everything is done. I try to do a FaceTime video with them to make sure everything was done. But we did go through the list, and let's hope everything's done. So let's go out to Fort Worth and pick up the Airstream. Arrived at Airstream with DFW. I say we, me, Pam's at home doing stuff, getting ready for the cruise here in 2 days. It's been kind of crazy. So just a kind of a list, and we'll kind of go through this. I mean, they're gonna walk us through it, and I'm not sure how much I'll record. I'll try and get some, but let's see. Shower vent no longer worked. The switch went faulty. It's a small max air fan. The furnace vent next to the exit door kept popping out. TV mount was crooked. Gap in cabinetry and kitchen. Smart plug for the cable and coax, really for the RJ45. And I should know that because I was in networking business forever. So they got that fixed. The screen door needed some adjustment. There's some vibration in one of the brackets. Outdoor shower just did not work at all. One of the drawers had a problem. Screen on a window closet was coming apart. One of the cushions was dented. Front AC shroud. After they installed the soft starts, it was just never right. Something was not right. Hopefully they got that all squared away. Bedroom heat vent blows very, very weak. Front side electric jack, and they did fix that, I know, was intermittent. Some of the Airstream letters were coming loose. Just shouldn't happen. The rig is, a couple months old. And the big one, I'll just have to show you what I did there. All right, as promised, I'm going to, in full disclosure, tell you exactly what I did. And I've never, ever done this in our 4 years of travel. So when we brought it to the Airstream dealer, I had it in storage here, like we are now. And for some reason, when we left the rig there after we put it here and went back into the Alliance, I put the rear jacks down. I think I'd put the jacks down. It's another sort of safety measure that if somebody's going to try and steal your rig, then they're going to destroy the jacks, and then they're going to have to deal with that and whatever. But anyway, I put the rear jack down, not the front jack, and it was probably 2 or 3 weeks, maybe more, from the time we stored it to the time that I had to take it to the Airstream dealer. And when I pulled out, after about 20 or 30 yards, I said, man, this something doesn't feel right. Like, am I still connected to something? And I got out of the truck and I looked, and what I did is I bent these jacks. Now, they have been repaired. the jacks actually stayed on, and they just kind of bent the frame, not the frame of the rig, but the frame of the jack a little bit. But here's really what's kind of fascinating. And again, this is not, yes, we have an affiliation with snap pads, but what was really interesting is that the snap pads didn't come off, and I dragged it for at least 20 or 30 yards, maybe even more. And the snap pads stayed on, and had they not, my guess was we would have damaged the little footer, and that would have even been worse. So yeah, it was a mistake, $1,000 mistake, and I just wish I hadn't done it, but I did do it. So for all you out there, just make sure that you make sure your jacks are retracted. Now, I put these down just to show you on the video. I am going to put them back up because I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. So yeah, we all make mistakes, and not ashamed to admit it. All right, let's see if I can get in here. It's kind of tight. Yeah, it's so they got the AC on. I already saw one thing. The vent cover, the MaxxAir vent cover was not good. They, I'll try and get some video of it. They installed it, and the way, well, you can kind of see right here, and then you can show it outside. Well, the antenna is mounted, so they actually had to cut away that back piece of it, and because of that, when it does rain, the rain comes off of the antenna, and it actually closes the vent cover, which is exactly the reason you put those covers on there. So that wasn't good. Okay, so let's kind of walk through, as we mentioned, just gotta make sure some of the things have been resolved. All right, well, I guess all in all, most of the things are repaired. Still have an issue with the AC shroud, so a little concerned about that. They're gonna, I guess, do that, but I just found something which I know was not here when I brought it in, and I don't know if you can see it, but the refrigerator door is dented. And I thought, okay, if I did this, maybe in our traveling it happened, but no, it doesn't actually hit that there. So I got to talk to him about that, because I guess somebody came in here with some tools and hit it or something like that, but that was definitely not there. Let me go see what they say about the door, because that was not that way at all. So an update on the refrigerator door. I did notice that. I went in and talked to them about it, and to their credit, they did say, yes, we actually made a notation of that. Yes, we did damage that. And, working around an Airstream is tight. And, I give Airstream and DFW credit that way. In fact, actually, the tech that worked on the rig while it was there actually came up to me and apologized and explained. And I said, dude, look, I get it, man. It's tight. They had to take the fridge out to work on some of the trim around it, and they just damaged it. They did order the part. Now, they didn't put it in for some reason until I noticed it. Now, I'm sure that just was an oversight, but as soon as I mentioned that to the service advisor, Jessica, and she's been really super to work with, she said, yep, it's on the notes. We got it. If you can give us another 15 minutes, we'll get it changed out. And they did. And yeah, it's all good to go. So credit to them for admitting that the fault, because not all dealerships are like that. And credit to the tech that actually came up and apologized. So dude, that was good stuff. We chatted about it. So no worries. Mistakes happen. It's pretty tight working on an Airstream. So thanks, guys. Thanks for taking care of that. All right, well, you see, we got her back here. Now we're going to take her to storage, and we had a little bit of a issue with storage. We've been keeping the Alliance at a place called Rec Nation. And we found a closer place that was in line, but a little bit less expensive, a little smaller place that was closer to where our townhome is. And I had reserved the spot a month ago, just really beginning of July, because they only have about 20 spots. And I reserved the spot, put the deposit down, filled out the online paperwork, and for some reason, I guess it didn't go through. So I called them when I was leaving the Airstream dealership to make sure that, the code that I put into work, and she's like, well, we don't have a, is that me or is that you? I guess that's you. We don't have your spot, and we had to give it away to somebody else because you never completed the paperwork. I was like, I know I completed the paperwork, but nonetheless, we got back into Rec Nation, so the Airstream and the Alliance will be neighbors, maybe a row or two apart, but so we're heading over that way. One thing I did want to include in this video, even though this video probably wasn't super exciting, just picking it up, and we got a Traeger Ranger about a month and a half ago, and where we're at the RV place up in Anna. Pam loves Pull Park. Isn't that right, Pam? Do you love Pull Park?
I do love Pull Park. I look so bad.
She's looking into the sun. The sun just, oh my God, it's horrible.
Be on a video right now.
Anyway, she loves pulled pork, and I've always wanted a smoker, and they had them on sale, so I picked up a Traeger Ranger. Oh, hang on a second. Now she's ready.
Well, it's a little bit, not much, but. Oh, and look, I have my glasses on my head.
We got matching glasses. We got matching aviators, and we're not even, and neither of us, you know, are pilots. We fly, but commercially, but not pilots. Anyway, what was the point? Oh, the point was, so we got a Traeger Ranger and smoked my first pork butt, and turned out awesome. Made one small mistake, didn't let it rest long enough, but it was awesome. So let's show you that. All right, it's been 2 hours. Let's go check out and see what it looks like. Been still watching a couple of videos. Whoa, sorry about that getting whited out there, but I've been watching a couple other videos, and you know, again, like anything else, barbecue is such a religion, and people are like, no, don't ever wrap it, and then some people are like, no, wrap it when you get a good bark on it, and then some people just say wrap it once it's done, and let it sit for a while. So it's kind of what we're thinking at this point, because it's getting a good bark right now. So internal temperature is 130. That's not the Traeger flickering, by the way. That's just the way GoPro picks up LED, or really any camera with with the frame rate that doesn't match. I mean, we're getting some good smoke on this now. I hate to open it because we're getting some great smoke on that thing. Let's wait for the smoke to settle down, and then we're going to open it up and check out to see what it looks like, because it's really changed a lot. I checked it at about an hour plus, and I'm just expecting it to really look a lot different now. The smoke has really settled down. My guess is that when it dumps, a fresh set of pellets into the smoke pot. So let's see what we got. That's looking pretty good. Now what I'm doing is, I did this twice so far, is I mixed up that equal parts apple cider vinegar and apple juice, and I'm kind of spritzing that on just to kind of keep some moisture in there and give you some flavor. The apple juice obviously sweetens it, and the vinegar is, well, it's vinegar, so I'm not sure exactly what it does, but I personally like North Carolina style barbecue as well. It's pork, but the barbecue sauce, what I'm trying to say, get it out, Ken, is more vinegary than it is. A lot of the Texas stuff is a little thicker, sweeter, more molasses-like, and sometimes on brisket. For pork, I like a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of sweetness on there, so I'm going to spritz this on here and help keep the moisture in. Like I said, internal temperatures, and now it's saying 133. So apparently what happens is that when it gets to about 160, it stalls. So I guess that's just basically where it doesn't get any hotter for a while, unless you turn up the temperature a bit, or you just let it keep going at the temperature that's at. Sorry, man, I'm for the sweat. It's brutal out here. So we're going to just kind of let it go for a while, and I'm just kind of making this up as I go, but I think we're going to probably not do the wrap until maybe it's closer. What they were saying is just like, you get the bark that you want, and once you get that, then you can wrap it and get some moisture in there, and then even let it set. So we're just this is all an experiment for us, and we're just kind of winging it. All right, we're about 7 hours in, and it's done. We got an internal temperature. I'll actually shut this off. So let's see if this still shows. Yeah, it's not going to show, but the internal temperature got up to just below 200. I think it was at 197. So let's show you what we got here. What is that? Bark? Ruff, ruff.
Y'all excuse my beautiful, awful look.
That's yeah. So first attempt with a pork butt. It looks good. It looks burned, but that's not burned. That's what they call bark. So we're going to take it off the grill and let it sit for about a half an hour. It's going to be hard to do that when it's going to be sitting in the kitchen smelling up the place. But anyway, that's our first experience with pork butt, pulled pork.
The next step is taste.
Getting it off the grill. That's the next step.
Pass the taste test.
Let's get it off the grill without dropping it.
So, y'all are eating and I know.
Well, I'll give her this other surprise. I got her this. I thought it would take her.
All right, we got our daughter and son-in-law over here, so we couldn't wait. Somebody carved into the. Who was that? Did you? Let me see. Did you carve it? Did you carve that?
Nope.
Tan, did you carve that?
Oh.
Somebody dipped in early.
Meka?
I got a tiny little piece.
Before the rest of Actually, it was actually me. I couldn't wait. But yeah, this looks amazing. So
smells incredible.
now the thing is, you can buy like something like this for, I don't know, $50 or something like that. But we decided to buy a smoker. So let's hope this is not the only time we smoke something.
I have big plans like chicken, turkey breast, ribs, more pork, butt, shoulder.
Yeah, there's actually a recipe for poor man's, which applies to us, obviously. Burnt ends where you use a chuck roast. And if Don from Canada, if you're watching, when we met you in Mesa, we were right next to you. So this is because of you, because you had that smoker out every couple nights, and you treated us to some of that, smoked chuck roast and poor man's burnt ends. So this is why we got this. So we're gonna let this rest, and we're gonna dig in.
Make her sit for it.
I wish you could have some of this. So I've been watching a lot of videos that talk about how they do this, and they get it on the table and they start breaking it apart. But a lot of the guys, they don't sound like this. They sound like, "This is Billy Bob's barbecue place. Now I'm gonna be taking a barbecue apart, taking that little pork barbecue apart. I'm just gonna come and learn to go." This may be a boneless butt, I think, and
Oh, I can see now why it needs to rest.
yeah, it really should be resting. So let's let it. Let's. It really needs to rest.
Well, Ken started shredding before I started videoing. Oh, there you are.
Well, we didn't let this rest as long as we probably should have, because I think it would have come apart a lot easier. But we got some hungry people here, including me, so we're just going to shred this up. I tried to pull it apart. I've seen on the videos where they pulled it apart. This is a boneless Boston butt, so that's probably why that did that. But
and in my experience, oftentimes when you buy the meat that has the bone in, it flavors better.
yeah. Now we know.
Just my 2 bits.
Now we know. But that's a lot of meat there.
I think we're going to be eating barbecue for days.
No, send some home with them. Okay.
Say, remember who's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to eat the other pieces and stuff too.
I do. We do have a hungry son-in-law right there, and maybe a hungry daughter right there.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We know this is not our normal travel video, but if you watch our last video, you know that we've been busy kind of moving into this townhouse as a sticks and bricks. And tomorrow, this is real time right now, tomorrow we're getting on a plane and heading to Seattle to get on the Switch It Up cruise to Alaska, and we're super excited about that.
Have you guys been on one? Because it sounds like RVers do this quite a bit. If you have, leave us some comments and let us know things
what you like
to do, things you liked, things you didn't like.
Yeah, dislike, yeah. And I think we're going to Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, and Glacier Bay, and Victoria, and there's one other.
Kind of the typical coastal town.
Yeah, exactly. So it may be a couple of weeks before we have a video out, but what we'll do is we'll try and document this the best we can and be looking for those videos. And we're really excited to do this. And it's funny, we started packing, and usually when you pack for a cruise, you pack like shorts and a swimsuit, and we're packing layers, and we don't have enough suitcases to pack layers. So anyway, we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.